Engines are incredible machines, tiny explosions firing thousands of times a minute, all held together by precision engineering. But without the cooling system, that miracle turns into a meltdown fast. It's the only thing standing between your engine and total destruction. The problem? Too many people make the dumbest mistakes with it, and those mistakes don't just damage your car, they guarantee a massive repair bill. Today, we're breaking down the 10 cooling system mistakes that will absolutely kill your car. Mistake 1. Using water instead of coolant. Here's a classic. Someone sees the low coolant light or an empty reservoir, and what do? Grab the nearest garden hose and fill up with plain water. Brilliant idea, right? Wrong. Water might keep things cool for a short time, but brings along a whole bunch of problems. First off, water is corrosive. Inside your engine, you've got aluminum, cast iron, steel, brass, and rubber. Plain water will happily eat away at all of them, turning your cooling system into a rusty soup. Second, water has a low boiling point. Once your engine gets hot, it'll start turning into steam, creating air pockets and overheating even faster. And don't forget freezing. If you live anywhere with winter, that water will freeze solid, expand, and crack your radiator or engine block. Coolant, on the other hand, isn't just colored water. It's a carefully balanced mix of antifreeze and additives designed to raise the boiling point, lower the freezing point, and prevent corrosion. So unless you want your radiator looking like the Titanic after 100 years underwater, stop using plain water. Mistake 2. Removing the cap while hot. This one separates the cautious from the clueless. You're driving, your engine starts overheating, you pop the hood, see the radiator cap, and think, maybe I'll just open this up to let some pressure out. Yeah, don't. Your cooling system is pressurized, often to 15 psi or more. That might not sound like much, but remember, it's holding back boiling liquid. Remove the cap while it's hot, and you've basically built a geyser that launches scalding coolant straight at your face, arms, and anything unlucky enough to be nearby. We're talking third-degree burns, ruined clothes, and a new appreciation for hospital food. The rule is simple. Never touch that cap when the engine is hot. If you absolutely need to open it, wait at least 30 minutes after shutting off the car, then slowly twist it with a rag to release pressure gradually. Otherwise, you're volunteering for a Darwin Award. Mistake 3. Pouring coolant in the wrong spot. You'd be surprised how often this happens. Someone grabs a jug of coolant and then pours it into the windshield washer tank. Or worse, into the oil filler cap. Not only does this do absolutely nothing to cool your engine, but congratulations, you've just contaminated another system that was perfectly fine. Pour coolant in your oil system, and now your engine has antifreeze instead of lubrication. Guess what? Your bearings and pistons aren't going to like that. Pour it into the washer tank, and well, you just wasted money and proved you shouldn't be allowed near an engine bay. This mistake usually comes from not knowing what's what under the hood, which is why the smartest thing you can do is read the owner's manual and actually learn where the coolant reservoir is. Spoiler alert, it's usually a translucent plastic tank with markings that say min and max. If you're dumping fluids anywhere else, you're not fixing the car, you're sabotaging it. Mistake 4. Ignoring the temperature gauge. That little needle on your dash? Yeah, it's not just there to look pretty. It's an early warning system designed to save your engine from destruction. But most people treat it the same way they treat the check engine light. They ignore it until smoke starts pouring out from under the hood. Here's the deal. If the gauge starts creeping toward H, you need to pull over and shut the car down before permanent damage happens. Keep driving and you're risking blown head gaskets, warped cylinder heads, cracked engine blocks, you name it. And trust me, those repairs are not cheap. Think of the temperature gauge like a fire alarm. Would you ignore it if your house was filling with smoke? No. So why ignore the one in your car? The cost of pulling over for a few minutes is nothing compared to the thousands you'll spend rebuilding your engine. Mistake 5. Not replacing coolant. Coolant isn't immortal. Over time, it breaks down and loses its ability to protect your system. Those corrosion inhibitors wear out, and suddenly your cooling system is rusting from the inside out. Old coolant also turns acidic, which eats away at seals, hoses, and metal components. Manufacturers recommend changing coolant anywhere between every 2 to 5 years, depending on the type. Ignore it, and you'll start seeing sludge, clogged passages, and overheating. It's kind of like never brushing your teeth, and then being shocked when the dentist tells you all your molars are rotting out. Replacing coolant is one of the cheapest forms of preventative maintenance you can do. Skip it, and you'll be paying for a new water pump, radiator, or even an engine rebuild. Don't be the person who saves $50 on coolant only to spend $5,000 on repairs. Mistake 6. Using snake oil stop leak products. Ah yes, the magic fix in a bottle. Radiator stop leak, cooling system sealant, miracle powder. It all promises to fix your overheating problems instantly. Just pour it in, and like magic, your leaks are gone. Except they aren't. What actually happens is these products clog your radiator, heater core, and small coolant passages with gunk. Instead of solving the problem, they make it worse, and now your mechanic has to flush the system and replace half your parts. Think of it like putting chewing gum in your arteries to fix high blood pressure. It's not a cure, it's sabotage. If you've got a leak, the real solution is to find it and fix it properly. Stop leak products are nothing more than temporary band-aids that turn into long-term nightmares. Mistake 7. Using the wrong coolant type. Not all coolants are the same. Some are designed for specific metals and seals, and mixing the wrong type can cause chemical reactions that turn your cooling system into a science experiment. Ever seen coolant turn into brown sludge? That's what happens when you mix incompatible types. Car manufacturers specify what coolant your car needs, whether it's OET, HOET, or DexCool. Ignoring that and just dumping in whatever's cheapest is a recipe for disaster. It might work fine for a little while, but over time the wrong coolant will eat away at gaskets, clog passages, and destroy your system from the inside out. When in doubt, buy the exact coolant your manufacturer recommends. It's not worth saving a few bucks just to create a $2,000 repair bill. Mistake 8. Removing the thermostat to fix overheating. This one is pure genius in the worst way possible. Someone notices their car is overheating and thinks, if I just remove the thermostat, the coolant will flow all the time and my car won't overheat. Except that's not how it works. The thermostat regulates coolant flow so the engine reaches its proper operating temperature. Without it, your engine may run too cold, which means terrible fuel economy, poor performance, and extra wear. Worse, some engines will actually overheat faster without a thermostat because the coolant flows too quickly to absorb heat properly. Modern engines rely on precise temperatures for sensors and computers to work correctly. Remove the thermostat, and you're basically throwing your car's brain into chaos. The thermostat isn't your enemy. It's the traffic cop that keeps everything moving smoothly. Take it out, and you've created gridlock. Mistake 9. Neglecting radiator hoses and clamps. If the radiator itself is the star of the show, the hoses are the stagehands quietly working behind the scenes. They don't get any glory, but without them, nothing works. Radiator hoses carry coolant back and forth between the engine and the radiator, and over time they live through some brutal conditions: constant heat cycles, pressure changes, and chemical exposure. Eventually, they start to weaken. They can swell like an overripe fruit, develop small cracks, or start leaking right at the clamps. And here's the scary part. You don't always notice it until it's too late. A single pinhole in a hose can drain your coolant in minutes, leaving you stranded on the side of a road with steam rolling out of the hood. Replacing a hose is cheap and takes very little time, but too many drivers ignore the warning signs until one bursts at highway speed. That quick roadside tow ends up costing 10 times more than a simple maintenance check. Mistake 10. Ignoring the water pump. If coolant is the lifeblood of the system, then the water pump is the heart that keeps it circulating. Its entire job is to move coolant through the engine and radiator, making sure heat never has a chance to build up. The problem is, when the pump fails, it doesn't do it quietly. It takes your entire engine down with it. Within minutes of a seized or broken pump, temperatures skyrocket, gaskets fry, and your engine is cooking itself into an early grave. And yet, most people don't give the water pump a second thought until it's already failed. The warning signs are almost always there: a whining or grinding noise from the front of the engine, coolant drips under the car, or a pulley that feels loose and wobbly. Ignore those signs, and you're practically begging for a catastrophic failure. Replacing a worn water pump on schedule costs far less than the thousands you'll spend fixing a blown head gasket, or worse, replacing the entire engine. So there you have it, the 10 dumbest cooling system mistakes that kill your car. If you've done any of these, consider yourself lucky if your engine still runs. But luck doesn't last forever, and neither will your car if you keep abusing it like this. Your cooling system is simple. Keep the right coolant in it, change it when you're supposed to, and don't try dumb shortcuts. Do that, and your car will stay cool, calm, and collected for years. Ignore it, and you'll be calling a tow truck and wondering why your bank account suddenly feels so empty. So, which one of these mistakes are you guilty of? Be honest, drop it in the comments below. And if you learned something new today, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and don't forget, treat your cooling system right or start budgeting for a new engine.